Hello everyone, this is a part 16 of Java application development tutorial series, and let's continue with logout operation. So in last video you have seen how can we perform the login operation, and registration is also done, login is also done. After I login, user can be login. So, but did you notice here I logged in as a user, but button is still display. This login link is still display. So now today we'll discuss about the sessions. This thing will manage by the session, and then we'll put a logout button to invalidate the session. So exactly to perform the logout operation, we need to know about the session. So what is the session? Session is a unique identity that we create whenever the user is going to enter into the application. It will create a unique session. So how can we create a unique session here? So there is a class HTTP server, HTTP session, and we get session here, and we set the attribute with the session name and the session value. So here we can pass the username or something, some unique identity of that user. And then how, if you want to get the session, how can we get the session? Session dot get attribute, and we'll pass this name here. And whenever I need to invalidate the data, I just call that session request dot get session and put it as a false and call session invalidate. So how can we implement this in real time? Let's move to our servlet page and just copy this code. Okay. Okay. Here into the login controller, just move to the login controller. After the successful login, if user is successful logged in, before getting logged in, we need to create a set a session for the particular user. So here we just create a session, just define the object at the top. So that we define. So I'm going to define another variable, just import the HTTP session. Okay. Now just create a session name. So I create a session name as a user, and the value, session value. So I just enter here. I have user object. We already said there. We are get there. So this should be user dot get first name. We can say anything, first name or last name. So we set a session here. Now we need to invalidate the session whenever we need to go logged out. Now we can set a message there also as a user, like for example I set a session here, and if I want to get the session into my JSP page, so I just move to the welcome.jsp, and for example I need to get the session here and I want to print. So let's get the session first. String session, I can say the name as should be name equals to session dot get attribute session dot get. Okay, just copy the syntax. I just messing the syntax there. Okay, should be session dot get, and here I need to pass the name. So my session name is user. So just put it like this, and we can print it directly. So I'm gonna just use equal sign there, so it will print there. And just add a message here. So should we spend time? Okay, welcome that particular user. So now by this way we can set a session and get the session. So let's run the code and log in the application again and check this time session will work. I just logged in into the application user. Okay, you can see the welcome user. It means the session name, username will be displayed here. The first name. Let's edit it like demo and apply it. Finish. Reload this. I could run it again. So go to home page, go to login. You can see the name here as a demo. So by this way you can set the session. By using this session, let's implement the login operation now, or sorry, logout operation now. So we need to insert a login but logout button in the header section. So just go to the header section, and after this create one more li, and the name of this link will be logout. So now here we are going to use some query string operation also. That will be helpful. I remove, and here is the link. In this link we are going to pass that operation to, again we are going to hitting the login controller. So let's see how can we call that login controller here, and it will be again add the percent sign. This equals to our name of JWA view dot login controller. Set. I don't want to edit, close it. And then I need to pass this operation sign. Okay. So we are going to pass this whenever user going to click on this logout, it will redirect to the login controller and send a operation as a logout. So it's just query string, the name of this operation, and send a string as a logout. We'll get it and verify it. So now let's move to the login controller. We are here in the login controller. As I told you, by default request will come to the doGet method. Now we'll check if just check the string operation equals to capital S. String op equals to request dot get parameter, and here I pass the operation name, which is my operation. So if I move to the header.jsp again, the name is operation. This is another way to get parameters. So just I pass this, and this is my key here as an operation. Let's get it here as an operation. Now let's put a condition here. If op dot equals to logout, then so what is the message that we are sending from the logout is logout. Let's move to the login controller. If it is equal to logout, then it should be invalidate this session. So let's call the code to invalidate the session. Here it is. Okay. We are going to invalidate the session. Before that, in Servlet we need to define the session. So as we define here, let's define it in the doGet as well. Let's define this into the doGet as well, and this time it's going to be a false. Okay, fine. Done. And finally, after logout, it will redirect to the login view. So just put it here, and you can remove this line. This is an extra line there. Okay, so now they will call the end session and invalidate the session in this line, then send the setup message as a logout successfully, and will redirect to the login. Now this logout message will be read by our response request here as an error message, get error message. I think it's done. Let's execute and work on this, how it is working or not. Okay, now the session is valid, so it's showing the logout. We'll put the check here, so it will not display here. So if I logged in, you can say this is the welcome user, and if I log out, it will redirect here. The main thing in the header is showing that user is logged in or something. The next video will manage the roles, like how if user is logged in, what kind of header parameter should be displayed, or how can we, or what kind of should be not display, or we can easily implement it here, like let's get a session and just continue in this video only, so it will be easy to understand you as well. So as in the login, somewhere I did just get the session in the welcome. Okay, in the welcome I get the session, so just create the same session in the header file at the top. Here we can create it and store as this into a string user equals to this user session. We can name it as a user session and convert this into a string, and it will be capital S. Okay, just remove this. It's fine now. Just put the semicolon there, so everything is working. Okay, fine. Now we can put the condition in the text here. Just put the condition here. Yeah. Open the JSP tag, and if the user session equals to null, it means user is not logged in, then this whole data should be displayed apart from logout button. So just close the if condition here. So whatever the Java code you are going to return into the JSP, you should use this text, scriptlet text. Else, if user logged in, it means user session is not null, then else we should display this section, means the logout button. And also we can add more, like home. We can add more, like home. We can add the home tag or contact us and about us page. Just add them here. So what in this case, if user is logged in, means session is not null, then this part of header will display. If user is not logged in, it means session is null, then the condition will goes true and it will display this section. Let's check the output now. Okay, there is some error in header. Let's see what is this. It's session exception account processing this header at line 15. Okay, okay, it's not taking it like this. So it's not going to convert into the session, and should be, let's keep it as HTTP session. Or I guess we have to do typecast here. So I'm gonna use this typecast. This should be work now. Fine. So we just apart from converting them to string forcefully, we just do the typecast here in a string. Now let's log in and okay, no problem. Let's run it again. So it's showing the null. It means we are it's getting the value as a null. Okay, so this is happening due to the some null value. Let's find out the null value, where it will come, from where it will come. So let's run it and check that way let's log out it and click to login. You can see it shows null pointer exception at the Java login controller at line number 40. Let's move to the 40, line number 40, and when we check the line number 40 here, it's getting the value as a null. So how we forget to handle the exception here, so just handle one exception. So how can we handle it? Just close this and put a try catch block. Try catch block. It's going to handle our exceptions. And so then add exception there, exception E, and system sys out, just print a message. Okay. So now if the value will come as a null, it will show exception, it will handle by here, but at the same time it's going to perform the logout operation. Now it should work, and let's run it again. So this time we didn't click on the like why that exception will come, because we are not click on that logout button in the header. So whatever the operation from there from here is going to as a null value, but we are not click there and we are getting the parameter here, so it should definitely, it will show the null value. So now it should work. We already run the refresh the code, click on the login, and now it's working. When I click on the user, now you can see as here Navar homepage and logout button is there, but I think we said more. If I check the header, we have about us and contact us. Also, it's disabled from here, so just remove the disable. Now, okay, now we have two more things as contact us and about us. So this is just design issue, we'll solve it, and when I click on the logout, it will automatically redirect on the login page, and let's set a message also. So when user click on load success message, and I think we need to get this message on the login view page. We are getting here as an error message but not a success message, so just set one more message as get success message as a request, and this time color should be green. It's green. Okay, So now it's logged in, it's log out and log out successfully. So this is all from the login logout purpose. And now after login, we'll see some list of users. We'll perform edit and delete operation on that. Then we'll move to the image uploading and some extra features. So once you cover all the basic thing, we'll move to the project explanation. Then